On my most recent video, I talked briefly about an individual known as Tamir Kitan. I felt he deserves an entire video simply because of how unbelievable his situation is, not to mention the sheer volume of videos he continues to upload. I won't keep yapping. Without further ado, let's get into it.
I hate food stimulation! Any woman that the organization sends, I will beat up until her death. I hate Emma Watson! I wanted to relax post-orgasm. When I reach a position of power, I will hunt down every single Emma Watson, no matter how many.
I was actually able to speak with Tamir personally, who was more than willing to give me a dissertation of the core events that have occurred over the past few years. I made sure he was okay with me sharing what we discussed through Instagram DMs, and he doesn't mind at all. Tamir's life growing up was, for the most part, normal. The only negative aspect of his upbringing he mentions was the fact that his father was an alcoholic and would pick fights with both him and his mother from time to time. A detail that will be more prevalent later on in the video is that Tamir believes during his upbringing that his father was overly affectionate towards his mother and his little sister's feet. Tamir poses the theory that because of witnessing that so much, it's the reason for his own fixation on it later on in life. His father would end up passing away in 2015.
Sometimes I show interest or affection or sexual interest in women's feet, but you see, when I was a really young child, I recall those things happening in front of me, that my father showed excessive affection towards my mother's feet. And when my sister was born, my little sister, he was absolutely obsessed with her feet. Even after she grew up, he would constantly kiss them.
It's also worth noting that Tamir discussed an incident in his adolescence where he watched his 6-year-old sister shower. Tamir states, "It was an accident. I didn't know she was there. I mean, I saw her, but I wasn't watching. I immediately left." He learned English from a private tutor growing up and would watch a lot of American content. Tamir resides in Israel. I'm not certain for how long he has lived there, but according to him, he really loves it there.
Every day and every week that I live here in Israel, I am constantly ascertained that I really love this country. And not just this country, but also my city and the exact place where I live in, and this apartment also.
So his childhood, for the most part, was peaceful, I guess. That was until 2017 when he really noticed he has become under attack. They've been trying to destroy my brain using noises first, and then proceeded to attack my body directly, when that didn't seem to do the job. Since 2017, he's lived in 4 different apartments. He claims those scumbags follow me to any new place of residence and constantly either knock on the floor, forcibly drag something sharp or heavy, or stomp on the floor barefoot to try to destroy my brain like that. They would do that from early morning to night.
It's been 7 years since they've been trying to destroy my brain, either by attacking me with noises, by banging on the ceiling above my apartment, or dragging furniture forcibly against the floor, emitting an unbearable screech, or constantly dropping things on the ceiling above me at my own home, or by using supernatural means to attack my body. I am a good person! I have done nothing wrong!
Tamir states that he was infatuated with a French electric guitar player named Tina Setkick. He goes on to state, "One day, I was laying in my bed and thinking to myself privately, about kissing her foot. Shortly after, my own 2 feet swollen red and my doctor sent me to the hospital. In the hospital, they ran some checks and they told me that it was some kind of poisoning. They also told me that the poisoning is very unusual because it affects both feet at the same time, which doesn't normally happen. So both of my feet were poisoned, but you know what? I never even left home at that period of time. Something read my thoughts about kissing her foot and decided to bully me as a response to that.
In 2019, a girl, a French electric guitar player girl that I liked so much that I once just thought of kissing her feet, and then I was punished for that by having both of my feet severely poisoned, and I was taken into a hospital where they also told me that poisoning in both of the feet at the same time is extremely unusual, and not to mention that I didn't even leave the house, so how the would my feet be poisoned if not by a supernatural power?
That's all just the beginning before he even started a YouTube channel. According to Tamir, a new arc of torture would begin in 2020. He states, "The torture of my feet for Emma Watson began sometime around September 23rd, 2020. It might be the exact date, and it might not be. I didn't log it when it happened first." Only 4 days later, Tamir would create his YouTube channel that he's most known for today. Let's take a look at those first uploads. The first 2 videos he would ever upload are of him urinating and defecating on pictures of Emma Watson. Tamir wouldn't say a word in each of these videos. We wouldn't see another video from Tamir for nearly another year. When he would return, he's probably the most calm and coherent you'll probably ever see him on the channel, despite the absurdity of his situation.
I want to share with everyone why Emma Watson has been such a big problem for me and why I dislike them so much. I say them because they are a group of women using the same made-up identity. The short story is that they apparently belong to some sort of international crime organization that supports their made-up identity and also responsible for torturing my body for 13 months by unknown means since late September 2020. I was kind to them, very kind. However, the basis for this kindness has been faulty. I believe them to be a real person who is a worldwide acclaimed actress, also a model, and a highly educated and human activist. However, that person does not exist. It's a made-up identity.
He details that he tried seducing what he believed to be Emma Watson, essentially opening Pandora's box, unleashing some kind of entity torturing him, similarly to the French guitarist that he was obsessed with years before. Tamir would take one last break for about 2 months, but when he would return, he would begin uploading nearly every single day.
It's been already over 15 months, and still they attack my body every single day. They attack my feet several times an hour. They attack my feet every several minutes. Particularly, they attack my feet in response to the time shifting on the clock. When the minutes and the hours add up to 19, for example, if it's 17:02, then they attack my feet. If it's 19 o'clock, they attack my feet. When the numbers add up to either 19 or 38, they attack my feet as though trying to program my mind with those numbers. They just won't leave me alone, attacking my feet every several minutes. They keep harassing my life every single day.
His videos would only become more fueled with anger and perversion, leading me to the next part of the video. Tamir's not shy about venting his frustration in extreme ways. In fact, that's what the majority of his content has become most known for. I wouldn't say it's something to be taken lightly, and it definitely has raised concerns with everyone who watches his videos, especially since he always dishes out threats to his alleged attackers.
When I reach a position of power, I will hunt down every single Emma Watson, no matter how many of them are there. If there are 50, if there are 100 of them, I will hunt down all 50 or 100, and I will kill them all, and I will kill all their families, their sisters, brothers, children, and parents, uncles, and nephews. I will kill all of them and all of their families and all of the people that they work for. They will pay for my suffering. They will pay with blood. The first woman that the organization sends, whether it's Emma Watson or someone else, I will rip her apart. I will cut off her limb, and I will shit inside her mouth, and I will stab her face until she dies. It just stimulated my calf to threaten me with a calf's woman. You send me a calf's woman, I will stab her 100 times in the eyes, and I will cut her head from her body. And I will kick her head into the street like a soccer ball. I will kill the calf's woman!
Not only is Tamir not shy about his threats or anger, he also doesn't mind discussing his enjoyment of pornography, and of course, women's feet.
I wanted to relax post-orgasm by watching my movie.
It takes a much more taboo turn when Tamir goes to great lengths to explain why he desires a 14-year-old girlfriend and why it's okay.
I was just at the shopping mall nearby my house, and I was at the McDonald's, and there was this girl that I liked, and I wanted to know how old is she, so I asked her, and it turns out that she's 14 years old. I then tried to approach her with very low confidence, and she was busy talking to her female friend of her age, and I then left. I then visited the pharmacy in the same mall, and on the way back from the pharmacy I saw her again with her friend, suggesting that just maybe she wanted me to talk to her, or at least somebody did, and I didn't, and now I don't know if I'm going to meet her or someone like her again, but I would. Although the legal age of consent in Israel is 16, in some countries in Europe, and yes, I deliberately say Europe because Europe is a quite some other countries in Europe, which I don't remember, the minimum age of consent is 14. I think that taking interest in a 14 years old girl is okay.
All of this is extremely odd and disturbing. Just what exactly is wrong with Tamir, and how is he going to return to a normal life? I may have some answers. Tamir's reasoning for his medical issues is obviously skewed due to his mental issues, but he clearly is having some sort of medical issues with his legs. I don't think he's lying about feeling pain, though that would be insane if this was just all a big troll. While doing research about Tamir, I came across a subreddit actually dedicated to talking about Tamir's online presence. In one of the posts, a user highlighted a video in a comment Tamir replied to in which he revealed he had been taking estradiol, nandrolone, and turinabol. Users suggested that his use of estradiol might be the reason for all of these brutal symptoms he's enduring. Tamir's reasoning for taking this: he believed it would help heal his joint and skin injuries.
The main reason I was doing this at that time is because, well, I was foolish and ignorant. But I thought it would be a way to increase my performance and possibly heal my joint injuries and skin injuries like scars, while not experiencing any potential androgenic side effects. And overall, it was a foolish idea and it didn't even work. While also taking female hormones, I believe it, without my intention or even awareness at the time, made my behavior a lot more feminine at the time I took those things. Without even my awareness, my behavior was feminine, especially in the ways that I was interested in Emma Watson at the time. But the way I expressed that interest was not in a very masculine way. If anything, it was in a very feminine way, like I used to f***ing write letters to them like some kind of a woman.
What else interested me when reading through this thread was a user mentioning something Tamir never brought up to me when talking about his earlier years. Apparently, Tamir worked as a nightclub security guard and was a freelance web developer. This user suggests that due to his extreme use of androgenic steroids, it may be the reason for his decline. I asked Tamir about what he currently takes, and he states he only takes testosterone for his hormone replacement therapy. I also asked if he believed his use of all those steroids could have been the reason for his crazy symptoms. He completely denies that being the reason for everything. When I did ask Tamir how he's doing and if there's been any improvements whatsoever, he actually said he has been doing better, but for one very specific reason, and it's a very secret reason too, that he also happened to share with me. At least some of it. That is the Life Program. What is that? Well, I still don't fully comprehend it, so I'll just let Tamir explain. The Life Program. It's very ancient, at least several thousands of years old, simply because some of the sources are that old. I'm not making this up. My guesses are that whoever made it is either people from the future traveling back in time at least thousands of years, or an ancient advanced civilization that existed in the past. On this planet, or maybe something like ancient advanced humans existing in the distant past, like was told in the movie Moonfall at the end of that movie. I haven't seen that, so I don't know. When I do it, the creature forces me to feel as though I'm losing control by violently and constantly twitching my muscles. But the creature is a liar. It's full of shit. It always lies and lies and lies, and it forces lies onto me, onto my body, but they are still lies. My self-control is extremely good, is like 99.9% perfect. At trust me, that's more than good enough. I've experienced getting Jedi-like senses right after finishing even part of the program. Being able to stop a fast spinning wheel of numbers at exactly the number I want, it's happened several times already. I also feel physically better. I mean, I haven't run any medical tests on my body, but it's just how I feel. I've been doing it for about 5 months. Now, what's interesting about this whole discussion I had with Tamir about the life program was that there was one point when I was talking to him where he gave a much more detailed explanation of what the life program is, but before I could fully read it and grasp what he was saying, he unsent the message and asked me not to publicize those details. He says, "What I'm saying is it's a very secret program, and he wants to keep it that way," even though he just told me. The message he unsent was very long and detailed. I can't remember much of it off the top of my head because he unsent it very quickly. However, that is what we know about the life program and the possible causes for Tamir's symptoms.
The program, which I am already doing for months, is called the Life Program. I don't want to do other programs. I want to do this program. I want to do the Life Program. Stop trying to force me to do some other just because there are popular numbers in an attempt to hypnotize people by repeating them over and over again, like 55, 78, 67, 75, all those popular numbers to spread them so much so that people would be hypnotized by those numbers. That doesn't work on me. I trust in the Life Program. There's a little something that I would like to brag about. It has to do with the Life Program. It's not only what I believe is great for health, and it would boost the life force of the individual, and over time it can make me very strong and fast and give me superpowers. What more, it improves the abilities of the mind as well. This interesting thing is, after completing only part of a session, it elevates my senses. It gives me those heightened senses that give me sort of Jedi-like instincts. It's expressed in stopping a fast rotation at exactly the number that I want. Specifically, in setting the Windows alarm clock. So it's really amazing. It not only boosts my life force, will make me immortal. It will make me immortal. I will live forever with this program. It will improve my health to unimaginable boundaries. It will make my skin better. It will make my everything better, and it all will make me stronger, give me superpowers, and it's also so good for the mind.
Tamir, as of present day, continues to upload videos nearly every day. According to him, he's doing much better due to this life program. However, it doesn't look like things are perfect, and I do fear that he may end up going off the deep end and doing something bad. I really hope that doesn't happen. I did ask Tamir if he had any final words for this video that he would like to share, and he shared more than a few final words. He says, All I have to add is that I'm innocent, naturally peaceful, and good person who seeks his own self-development and doesn't seek to hurt anybody. The evil things that have been done to me, done by a force above the world government as we know it, above the UN, the people who rule this world in secret. And it's so stupid that they pick a fight with an innocent man like me, because I've not committed, nor was going to commit any acts of crime nor terror. I just want to live my own life in peace, and I really don't deserve any of the horrors they've been doing to me. From trying to destroy my brain using noises that I would constantly hear at my own home, to attacking my body directly all day long for years. What they've been doing to me could have driven lots of people to suicide. Even I myself have admitted numerous times that if my mother wasn't so loving and supportive, I might have committed suicide by now. It's extremely unfair, evil, and unjust, and I truly don't deserve that. I want this to be fixed. I want to be released from these horrors. I want to be free, and I want to get the justice I deserve. They have to compensate me with a lot of money for this. 7 years of abuse. I also want the culprits to be punished, whether imprisoned or executed. Either way, punished severely, so nobody think they can't something like that and get away with it. If they're imprisoned and not executed, then I want a permanent restraining order against them so they would never try to interfere with my life in any way. So that's Tamir's final words, and you notice he mentions that he demands compensation for his struggles, and he's not kidding. He's been asking in his videos and on his Instagram for billions and even up to $1 trillion in compensation from his attackers. I think that's gonna wrap this up, ladies and gentlemen. Be sure to follow me on Twitter to get all my latest updates. Subscribe to the Patreon. Feel free to email me here at iamsirzach@gmail.com if you have any suggestions for videos, or you can just @ me on Twitter. That works too. With that being said, goodbye for now.